What are the mysteries of nine? All right, that is the question for today. Hope you're having a good one. My name is Thomas, and I do educational videos on this channel. And we cover a number of different topics, but to start with, we are going in depth on the tree of life. And I've been putting out, I will end up putting out 144 plus videos on different aspects of the tree of life. We use the tree of life not only because it's a great tool to be able to understand and contextualize and prioritize things in your life, but also because it is a great mnemonic device in order to help you memorize large amounts of material, not memorize, but understand, actually understand or understand or overstand great amounts of material that you're learning from other sources. And so that will be coming up in this course. We're going to learn great amounts of material from other sources. So I figure if we can have the tree of life as a foundation, then it'll help us once we start learning all those large amounts of material from other sources on other subjects. So this here is the tree of life. It's an ancient diagram, goes back all the way to ancient Egypt, if not before. And it is comprised of 10 circles that are numbered. You can see here. It's basically a map of our consciousness. And the circles are numbered 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. There is an implied sphere here called the abyss. And then there is a 0 above the tree. So that makes a total of 12 different components. And those 12 different components are basically our 12 aspects of consciousness, or our 12 abilities of consciousness, or our 12 faculties of consciousness. And we basically are starting from the bottom, and we're moving up, progressing upward on the diagram, going down in number as we evolve spiritually. And so we start with 10. 10 is already open as we start life, and then we gradually have the opportunity to open up the rest of them as we move through life. Most of us don't get very far. The ones who get all the way to the top are, the ones that they name religions after eventually. Okay, so number 10 is really our sense of instinct. So this is our survival. This is our wild animal consciousness. This is the law of the jungle, kill or be killed, the fight or flight response. This is also our life force. This keeps us alive in spite of, regardless of our conscious input. We continue to breathe, and our heart continues to beat, even though we're not having any input on that. And now what we can have input on is actually destroying our life force through addictions and defilements. We can destroy or damage our life force, but our life force operates in spite of us. Okay, now when we go up to the 9th sphere, if the 10th sphere is like our wild animal consciousness, the 9th sphere is more like our domesticated animal. So the domesticated sphere is the realm of the home. This is what we're getting when we're growing up in the home. The first years of our life, we are highly receptive. It's called mediumistic trance, and we have developed a devotion to those who are caring after us, those who are cleaning us up and feeding us and sheltering us. And we pay a special attention to them. So we are highly receptive to their influence. We stare at them and watch what they do. And then when the time comes, we imitate what they do. And we practice it over and over again until perfect, or, relatively perfect. And then we memorize it, and it goes back down into the body memory. So that's really the cycle of the ninth sphere, which we will be talking about later today, in a different context. But so we have heightened receptivity, we have repetition, and then we have we have imitation, then we have repetition, and then we have memorization. So that's really what you get out of the ninth sphere. Now, if the ninth sphere is the domestic sphere, the eighth sphere is more like the public sphere. The eighth sphere really adds up to our, the faculties are our belief systems and our rational faculties, our elementary rational faculties. Okay, so, but this is developed as we move into the public. So we start to go to school, we start to go to church, we go to the mall, we go to the shopping, to the grocery store, the rec center, or even the neighbor's house, the friend's house. We are exposed to other forms of doing things other than what we got here. So we are exposed to what you call the consensus worldview, the conventional wisdom, the common sense, but also the expert opinion. The eighth sphere is the realm of the experts, at the universities, at the hospitals, in the legislatures, on the media. They're all giving us their expert opinions on things. They're basically telling us what to believe and how to behave according to what they have to say. And they have great amounts of pull because the eighth sphere is where all the resources are located. This is the establishment, and this is the powers that be. And so you have to be able to kowtow a bit to the eighth sphere just in order to get your resources for the day or for the week or whatever. And and the other problem is that the eighth sphere is a trickster, meaning that you can't really trust the eighth sphere to give you the truth. What they give you is what is convenient for them. It could be the truth, but it may not be. And so you end up in this tension where what everybody's telling you is the truth is not what you're personally experiencing in your own life. And so you have this tug of war going on between what you feel like is true and what they're telling you is true. The fable of the emperor wears no clothes is germane here, where they're telling you the emperor's got a beautiful suit of clothes, and you just keep looking at him and you keep thinking, this dude's not wearing anything. And so you end up in this battle with yourself saying, well, am I going crazy, or is everybody else just wrong? And you have to be able to negotiate that little battle that's going on, because you have to be able to get in here. And if you flat out say, hey, look, this guy's not wearing any clothes at all, you will be banished. You will be banished from the eighth sphere. You will not be able to get in there. You'll have no status, and you will have no, resources. So you kind of have to give lip service to the eighth sphere without becoming too involved in it. Like, you could actually invert your rational faculties and convince yourself that you're going crazy, and just say, well, maybe I need to, maybe something's wrong with my vision, and they're obviously all right. Otherwise, it's everybody. But that is a fallacy of logic. Just because everybody believes something doesn't mean that it's true. And you're also, another fallacy is rationalization, where you're saying that you're coming up with excuses for the asphere, as opposed to what you're actually seeing. Maybe you say, oh well, I had I got hit on the head the other day. Maybe it's affecting my vision, or something like that. So anyway, the danger is that if you get yourself too wrapped up in the asphere, you'll be caught into it. And once you give one rationalization to excuse the asphere, then it's a slippery slope, and you'll end up giving another rationalization. Pretty soon you'll be all tied up in contorted situations, bending over backwards for the asphere. So the recommended approach is basically just to kind of give lip service, or what I call minimal compliance, to the asphere, and then just move on, because you recognize that the asphere is just your third faculty. You have 9 more faculties to open up, and they're all more important than the asphere. So a lot of people get stuck here because they trap themselves in here due to faulty twisting of the asphere, twisting of their beliefs, twisting of their logical faculties. But if we can just give it lip service, get what you need, get out of here, and recognize that to a certain extent we live in a world of lies. But this is not the be-all, end-all as it's presented, and it's not the consensus as presented. They present it as if everybody knows that, but it may not be the case. Okay, now where we move over to the 7th sphere, where the asphere is, the real world, the 7th sphere is the imaginary world. So the 7th sphere is for people who got into the asphere and just left. They smelled a rat. They saw that something was wrong. They moved over to the 7th sphere, and they imagined something better. They imagined a better way to do this. And they also used other faculties of the 7th sphere, imagination, also inspiration. They saw other people who've done the same. Intuition. They got curious, and they went inside and they asked for discernment. And they got answers from their heart. And the answers were correct. Our ability to translate that message might be frayed, and so they have to be verified. But the intuitions we get are correct, but they still need to be verified. Okay, then we also have creativity, creative spark, and we have our pleasure principle. Those things are all also included at the 7th sphere. Putting things into new configurations, putting things into pleasing configurations. And this all adds up to a creative product that makes an alternative to the asphere, such as a song, an essay, an invention, intellectual property. These all attempt to provide an alternative to the asphere. And also, in a more general manner, we create our mission, our sacred mission for life, or our higher calling. This is what we decide to do to make the best version of ourselves, and to benefit the world in the best way we know how. Not such as the asphere, where they want you to be a cog in the machine. You got to go to school, and then you become a lawyer, or you go to school, you become a doctor, and they kind of just plug you into the already existing system. Here, you're plugging yourself into the natural system, the actual universe, and you are, this propels you up the tree. Once you have your higher mission, your higher calling formed, then you really want to open up all these other areas. And so the first place you go is the 6th sphere. This is our center. This is really the center of the tree. If this were a map, it would say you are here. And this is our free will faculty. This is our ability to pay attention and to make decisions. Now, what we normally find is that we're paying attention to the ninth sphere or the eighth sphere, where our attention is directed down the tree. Now, in order for us to evolve, we have to reverse that. So we can use our free will, our decision-making ability, to turn ourselves around and stop paying so much attention to the consensus and to our past upbringing, and to direct our attention at our future in terms of spiritual development. This is a scary proposition because it is, staring into the unknown, because this is mostly unknown as opposed to this, which is pretty well known. So we have to summon some courage and be able to face our fears here. But if we can direct our attention at the fifth sphere. And our fifth sphere is really about our sense of justice, or sense of right and wrong, or sense of fairness. And this you can call karma. This is basically our understanding of the law of cause and effect. And so you can put a mirror right here, and you can think of it as cause and effect. As you sow, so shall you reap. For every action, there's an equal and opposite reaction. What comes around goes around. This is how the karma works. So it's what you put in is what you get back. And what is reflected is waste, violence, and violation. So if you act violently, you will get a violent reaction in return. If you violate somebody, you will be violated in return. If you are paying attention to what's going on, you'll recognize that you're getting these bad results as a result of your own input. You're not a victim. You're not having bad luck, but you're having these bad results because because of your bad input. And so you can recognize what you're doing wrong and start eliminating it. And if you can eliminate what you're doing wrong, then you can eliminate your violence, waste, and violation. Then you will clean up your karma, and you will not get that kind of reaction back. You will not get violence, waste, and violation. So the fifth sphere at the beginning is your punisher. It's punishing you for your, what you're doing. But if you can pay attention to it, it will be your teacher, and eventually it will become your protector. Because if you don't do the karma, then you won't get any back. And so you will be immune to all these bad results. Now, the exception to the rule it has to do with our past life karma. And so we have to be able to deal with that in a different way. At the bottom of the sixth sphere, we use disciplined self-sacrifice. And that hopefully will deal with our past life karma. Now, if we direct our attention on the fourth sphere, it's the counterpart to 5, where 5 is the enforcement of the natural law and order. 4 is the articulation of that natural law and order, particularly in the form of cosmologies and your ancient holy books, your modern theories of everything. These are sources that attempt to talk to us about everything in the universe. The creation story, our relationship with God, our relationship with nature, how things are put together, what are the laws of ethics, right and wrong. And we traditionally only study one of these, the one that we grew up with. But if we are paying attention, we can study more, and we can compare and contrast them. Again, using our intuition, our discernment to go inside. But we have to do the homework first. We have to study multiple different cosmologies and ancient holy books in order to have the wherewithal to be able to ask ourselves and get an answer that we can actually decode. And we have to decode it again and then also verify. So this is really the universal law, also universal love, and universal language. Okay, then when we go to the abyss, this is our psychic powers. Our psychic powers are the result of omens. magnetic charges, things that are highly anomalous, that go against the laws of statistics, or highly improbable occurrences, whether that is a coincidence, a synchronicity, a recurring name or number, or some other kind of theme that is very far an outlier. And that should trigger something in our mind, and that's our psychic receptivity, where we are like, wow, that was really weird. That means that I should be paying attention to this. Okay, that is our psychic receptivity. And then the second part is, well, if I pay attention to it, I will notice that that omen, within that omen is a call to action, is a prescribed action. And then, so the psychic heat is the second part, and that psychic heat is our ability to act upon the omen, which also brings up fear. And so that's a difficult standard, but it's the two steps for psychic receptivity, and that's basically understanding this hidden language in the universe, electromagnetism. Okay, then 3, 2, and 1 at the top of the tree, and these are our divine faculties within. This is omnipotence, all-powerful, and that basically is our ability to fulfill our higher calling. And we do this through sound synchronization, in particular mantra. The second sphere is omniscience, all-knowing, and this is really wisdom, our ability to solve problems. We can solve problems either through an oracle, which gives us, we ask the oracle, the tarot deck or whatever it is, I Ching, and then we get answers, which also have to be verified. Or we can do it ourselves through our own meditative practice by being able to shut off our thought process to the point where our minds become calm, and we can see through the mind all the way to our deepest center. And then when we see what's at our deepest center, that is the image of wisdom. That is the solution to our problem. Okay, so what we see in at our deepest center is the solution to the problem. Now, this deepest center, our singularity or higher self within, that's transmitting this image of wisdom, can go further, if we not only see all the way to the center, but we actually be at the center, or we merge with our higher self. And that's a process of unification, because we notice that what's at our deepest center is the same as what's at everyone else's deepest center. So when we are at our deepest center, we are at the deepest center of everything. And so we're omnipresent. And so the first sphere is really about everything in the universe. This is the whole, the all, everything. All is one. Whereas the 0 is nothing. The 0 is nothingness, emptiness, and a mystery. The 0 is not part of the universe, but it is part of the Creator. The 0 is the part of the Creator that the Creator reserves for itself. Not part of the universe, but part of the Creator. Sun Ra would say repeatedly during some of his concerts, in the beginning there was nothing, and nothing turned itself inside out and became something. So that's kind of the process. In the beginning there was nothing. That's the Creator. The Creator turns itself inside out to become something. Okay, so that's the beginning of the 12 categories of the Tree of Life. And to get to the 144 different minor faculties of the Tree of Life that I'm doing videos on, what we have to do is fractalize the tree. So we basically take the whole tree and we shrink it down to a small size that fits on just on one of the spheres. And so we break down the 6th sphere into its 12 faculties. And we break down the 9th sphere into its 12 faculties. These are really minor faculties, or fractal faculties. So that makes a total of 144 if you add all of them up. And that 144 fractal faculties is doubling as the stages in life, history, cosmology, and spirituality. And so I've compiled a guide that I put together for that I would be happy to share with you for free. If you'd like to just click the link in the description, and I'll send you the guide to the 144 fractal faculties. Today we are looking at just one of those 144 fractal faculties, as we do each day at the end of the video. And today the question was, what are the mysteries of 9? And this corresponds to number 143. So the second from last one. And this one corresponds to the 0 sphere. And it corresponds to the 9th fractal within the 0 sphere. So the 0 sphere is about nothingness and a mystery, not in the universe. And then, and numbers. Numbers are not in the universe. And they're before the universe at first. And then the 9 represents practice, heightened receptivity, memorization or memory, and devotion and imitation. So that's what we have going into this one. So number 143, what are the mysteries of 9? Number 143, casting out 9s, reps to the 9s, and running back 9 lives. Stage number 143 is about harmonics, repetition, and memory utilization. The Enneagram embeds the principles of harmonics because it uses 9 components. The harmonic rule of 9 is that if the individual numbers within a multi-digit number ultimately add up to 9, then the number itself is divisible by 9. In harmonics, 9 equals 0. So we can cast out 9s as zeros when adding digits. We can use the final sum to categorize all numbers into 9 different groups. The numbers that are classified as 3s, 6s, or 9s are electromagnetic in nature. The Enneagram demonstrates the gradual transition from magnetic influence to electric influence and vice versa. We can use the Enneagram to create perpetual magnetic and electric motions. Doubling on the Enneagram, such as 1, 2, 4, 8, and such, turns into a repeating number on the Enneagram, which is 1, 2, 4, 8, 7, 5, which is an uncharged electromagnetic motion. And if that is reversed, we get the repeating decimal of the division by 7 on the Enneagram, which is 142857, which is analogous to an electromagnetic charge. 9 also allows us to learn, as it is about practicing and repeating until perfect. Under the influence of 9, we are in a heightened state of receptivity and are therefore motivated to practice that which we are receptive to. When we practice things, we can actually perfect them as we consciously memorize until the movements become part of our body memory. 9 is also about falling into a state of trance, where we can probe our memories to uncover our past lives so that we are able to live down and eliminate our past life or residual karma. This also helps us to understand our current incarnation and perhaps the reasons why we chose the parents and environs that we did. We can easily remember the mysteries of 9 by using mnemonic devices such as casting out 9s, reps to the 9s, and running back 9 lives. Okay, that is the 9th fractal of the zero sphere. What are the mysteries of 9? And we will have more to say about this in future videos, but that's a short version of that. And you know, the zero sphere is you know, intrinsically mysterious, and so there's a great amount of guesswork that's involved. But more or less, the way I have it categorized is that the zero sphere is about the numbers. You know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and so I try to start from there and, you know, derive each one of those 12 fractals of the zero sphere that way. Okay, well, thank you for tuning into the video today and sticking around to the end. Please hit the like button. You can also share the video with others. You can subscribe to the channel. You can get my free guide to the 144 fractal faculties by clicking the link in the description. You can also go to the description in order to donate to me through Cash App or Venmo, and the addresses are in the description. And you can go to the comment section and make a constructive comment, because that's ultimately what this is about. I'm trying to turn this into like a crowdsourcing effort. Putting together the 144 fractal faculties is a job that is too comprehensive for one person to do in a, you know, thorough and accurate manner. But if we have a whole crowd of people working on it, providing their input and their expertise, we could actually eventually put it together and maybe fulfill some of the goals that I had, such as the multiversity, where each one of the fractals is like a whole department at a university, and we can have 144 different departments, and they're all working together, integrating. Okay. Thanks for tuning in. Tomorrow I'll be presenting another one of the 144 fractal faculties, and until then, have a beautiful day.